Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Scrum Ceremonies. We have at least 5 of them that all the Scrum teams have to follow in order to properly implement Scrum and gain all the value that Scrum has to bring to the table. So we have sprint planning, we have daily stand-up, we have sprint review, we have sprint retrospective, and of course we have backlog refinement, or also it's called backlog grooming meeting. So let's dive right into every single one of them. What is a sprint planning? Sprint planning is the meeting where the Scrum team gathers together to plan their next 2 weeks worth of work, the next sprint. That's why it's called sprint planning. So you're basically planning your sprint. Your Scrum Master will quickly talk about the capacity of your team, how much work can the Scrum team take on in the next 2 weeks based on the capacity, meaning how many people are going to be working in those next 2 weeks. Maybe somebody's taking a vacation or there's a holiday. So that's all going to be accounted by your Scrum Master. And the next, your product owner is going to define the sprint goal. So what is the goal for the Scrum team to deliver in the next 2 weeks? Very important to define a clear sprint goal that everyone on the team understands. What is the goal in the next 2 weeks? So once that's done, ideally, right, during the sprint planning, this is not the first time you're looking at the user stories. You have groomed them, you have refined them, and we'll talk about that meeting in a minute here. But you will have those user stories that are ready. You might touch up on some of them to see if anything has changed since last time you have looked at them as a team. And if nothing has changed, you will basically plan those next 2 weeks based on the sprint goal, bring the necessary and relative user stories into the sprint. So that's in a nutshell, right? As an engineer on the team, your goal is to make sure that the work that is being planned in the next 2 weeks is ready for you. You are committing to deliver that. You want to make sure that the work is ready. There is no blockers or anything like that from you to start the work. So that's in a nutshell about sprint planning. Next one is daily stand-up. Just like the name of it, it happens every day, usually 15-minute time block early in the morning for the Scrum team. Check on who is working on what, and most importantly, if there is any blockers. The goal of the stand-up is to see if anyone from the team needs your help, or maybe vice versa, you need the team's help on the work items that you are working on, and have that healthy check right every morning that everything is working fine. Nobody needs anything from the team. You have a plan. Usually you discuss things like, what did I work yesterday on? What am I working on today? And if you do have any blockers or not. So those are the 3 things you usually discuss in those 15 minutes. Next one is a sprint review meeting. In that meeting, you as a team will be showing what work have you done, maybe present the work to the stakeholders, to the customers. In the Scrum, we aim to deliver value every 2 weeks. So after the sprint is done, you want to showcase what have we done, what value are we delivering as a team, gather feedback from the client, from the stakeholders, to make sure that you are all aligned, right? We're delivering the right thing. So that's in a nutshell about sprint review. Next one is sprint retrospective. In this meeting, we usually talk about how the previous 2 weeks went, what worked well, what didn't work so well, right? And how can we improve as a team? So the goal of the sprint retrospective is to come up at least 1 or 2 actionable items on how can we improve. Maybe the communication was not so good in the past 2 weeks, so we want to improve on how we communicate with each other as a Scrum team. Maybe as a tester, right? User stories come to you on the very last day of the sprint. So something like that you want to discuss in the retrospective and see how you guys can improve as a team. The last but not least meeting is backlog grooming, or backlog refinement, we also call it. In this meeting, we have a product owner that comes with the list of the user stories that were previously the requirements from the clients, and where we discuss the details, right? We refine them, we groom the user stories. We want to make sure that as an engineer, you want to ask questions to clarify things. You don't want to just sit around and, do not listen during that meeting, because once the work gets prioritized, you want to make sure that you know what's going on and you know how to work on it and what is being asked from you. So as an engineer on the team, doesn't matter if you're a software engineer or a quality engineer, you want to ask questions to clarify requirements from your product owner with the team. So the goal is to discuss the details, to make sure that everyone is aligned, to make sure there are no missing details, and that the user stories are well groomed and ready for you to start working on. All these Scrum ceremonies ensure that there is an alignment within the team, that there is a continuous improvement, and continuous collaboration, because in Scrum, we deliver value as one team. And that is in a nutshell about all the ceremonies in Scrum. Thank you all for watching.